The first episode is about people trying to move on while carrying the weight of what they've lost. Stanton, who starts the episode alone at the cliff waiting for his son, Randall, spends much of the hour haunted by Randall's death, by the memory of his late wife Amala, and by the ways he's failed the people who mattered most. That grief is isolating him, closing him off from the one person who's still there, Quinn. Stanton starts the episode trying to hold on to tradition, waiting for his son Randall at their usual cliffside hangout. But Randall doesn't show. That missed moment sets the tone for Stanton's whole journey. He's a man stuck in grief, trying to reconnect with his son too late. The party scene makes it worse. He tries again to reach out, but they just don't click. Then Randall gets a car from Davis, a move Stanton doesn't trust. When Stanton tells Randall to return it, the fight turns ugly. Randall accuses him of acting like he's the only one who lost someone. Hours later, Stanton gets the call no parent ever wants. Randall's dead. A year later, that grief hasn't faded. Stanton's still holding everything in, and when he sees Quinn with Davis, it hits a nerve. Stanton's not just grieving his son, he's also losing the people who tried to be there for him. Quinn opens up to him in the hospital, finally confessing that she's loved him for years, even before he married her best friend. She stood by during Amala's illness, stayed through the aftermath of Randall's death, and held space for him emotionally, even as he stayed emotionally unavailable. Quinn finally understands that no matter how long she stood by him, Stanton may never see her in the way she needs him to. Stanton, completely closed off, basically tells her he doesn't care. It's a brutal moment, not just for her, but for him too. He's too deep in his pain to let anyone in. That moment is heartbreaking, not just because of her vulnerability, but because Stanton clearly does feel something for her. He's just too buried in guilt and regret to reach for it. It's a painful portrait of how grief can calcify the heart if you let it. Quinn is stuck between her past and her future. She's trying to keep her dance hall alive and work her lavender farm, but emotionally she's spinning. There is clear chemistry between her and Stanton, but he keeps her at arm's length. Meanwhile, Davis is suddenly making moves. He's flirty, charming, and dropping hints that he's always had feelings for her, but Quinn doesn't bite. She sees through his timing. The dinner between them is awkward, and Stanton walking in just adds gasoline to the fire. The reveal that Davis has always had feelings for Quinn isn't a total surprise. He's been circling her all episode under the guise of concern and small talk, but what complicates things is that his flirtation doesn't just come from loneliness, there's an agenda behind the charm. The final scene confirms our suspicions. Davis is scheming. That pipeline deal, he's in deep. He's pushing Cap and Stanton to sell, not just for the town, but to cover his own ranch debt. The twist at the end confirms what we already suspected. Davis is not to be trusted. He's working with Yancey, who arrived under the pretense of honoring ranch history, and now Ellie's getting too close to the truth. Yancey shows up as the wide-eyed newcomer, seemingly eager to work and learn, but the newspaper clippings, his tension with Ellie, and that final reveal with Davis show he's not what it seems. His motives are murky, but one thing's clear, he's not just a ranch hand, he's working with Davis, and their plan to get that pipeline approved is already in motion. But Ellie's not stupid. Now that she's watching Yancey, things are gonna get real complicated. The only unknown is whether his connection with people like Ellie or Cap will start to shift his loyalty or make things messier down the line. On the high school side of things, Lucas and Lauren are caught in a messy small-town secret romance. They're clearly into each other, but Lauren's scared of being seen with him, especially with her ex Reed hanging around. The party drama, the kiss, and then the abandoned building accident all push their storyline forward. When the sheriff finds out his daughter Lauren was involved and threatens her future over Lucas, that's a big warning shot. These two aren't going to be able to keep flying under the radar for long, and her involvement in the night's chaos threatens to derail it. Meanwhile, Lucas is trying to navigate a world where he doesn't quite fit. His relationship with Lauren is real, but she's not willing to go public yet. Their storyline feels like it's setting up a new generation trying to break free of the cycles their parents are stuck in, but small towns don't forget, and secrets have a way of surfacing. The big theme in this first episode is loss and what people do with it. Stanton is drowning in grief and guilt. Quinn has spent years hiding her feelings. Davis is using tragedy as a cover for shady deals, and the younger generation, they're trying to break free from all of it to make something better for themselves. But the past isn't done with any of them. The first episode is less about the events themselves and more about the emotional residue they leave behind. Stanton and Cap's conversation, who are we preserving the land for, gets to the heart of it. When your children are gone and the future feels empty, what's left to fight for? The land? That might be the next big thing people are willing to fight or betray each other over. The final moments of episode 1 aren't just a twist, they're a warning. Everyone in this town is carrying something, and some of them they're about to break.